In this video, we are going to demonstrate how to configure the Horizon Connector Setup Wizard. Once the connector has been deployed and the network configured, it will then present a URL. We're going to browse to that URL. The first thing the connector is going to have you do is create a password. Next up, it asks for the activation code. This activation code is the same activation code the Horizon service provided when you created your first organization. We have successfully tied this connector to our Horizon organization. The first thing we need to do is set up the Horizon connector to talk to Active Directory so we can get users, groups, and OUs. I'm going to put my Active Directory server information in. I'm going to provide the base DN. I am going to provide the bind DN. I'm going to use a service account with permissions to add computers to the domain. I will now verify all the settings. Okay, we have successfully synced our first user. If you read the instructions here, we can actually go ahead and log into Horizon as the service account that I provided here. It also has some other information and tells you how to get to Horizon. We are going to continue the setup now. We are now going to join the domain. This is so we can communicate with file servers and other resources needed. It is asking for the Active Directory FQDN. So in this case, I'm going to provide just the domain information. It now says leave domain, which means we successfully joined the Horizon connector to the domain. Next up is Windows authentication. We are going to enable Windows authentication. This will use Kerberos when using domain workstations, which will pass through authentication from the domain workstation through the Horizon login so that you are not challenged with credentials again. It is asking for the internal access hostname. Typically, this is the FQDN of the connector. Next, it is asking for the external access name. This information is important if you have external users who are going to be authenticating to Horizon. In this case, you're going to put the friendly name that your external users are going to use to get to Horizon. If you have the connector deployed to the DMZ, that is one example. Another is if you are using load balancers to cluster your Horizon connectors, you would put that friendly name here. In this case, I'm going to use the same name as the internal access name, since I am not using any load balancers and I am not using a DMZ for external users. Next up, it is best practice to generate a new SSL certificate if you are not going to import your own signed cert. I am now going to copy this information and I'm going to create a cert file out of it. I will then install the certificate on the domain workstations so that they can access the Horizon connector. Now that I have created the new certificate, it is important to note that once I am done with this configuration, I need to reboot the connector so that the connector will start using the new SSL certificate. Next up is Windows applications. We are going to be using Windows apps, so I'm going to point it to the VMware Thinapps repository. I would like it to check that repository every hour. And there are my Windows applications. The metadata for these applications are being copied into the Horizon service so that I can assign policy to users and apps. Next up are attributes from Active Directory. We are going to leave this default. It is possible to add your own custom attributes. I'm now going to select my users. Everyone in this OU is who I would like synced with the Horizon connector. If we go look at the results, we see that I have users in here. I also have Horizon admin service account that I created. It is important to note, if you have a separate OU for service accounts, make sure you explicitly call it out here. Next, I can select any groups. In this case, I'm going to take the sales group. I would like the connector to sync Active Directory information every hour. I'm going to review my summary. At this time, it is syncing the certificate and the user information up to Horizon. It is important to note that I need to reboot the connector since I changed the SSL certificate. Next, we are going to log into the connector. And then we're going to take a look around. These are some of the options of things that I can do. Note that I can go back through and alter my configurations at any time. I'm going to use the login to Horizon to log in as the service account, who is my first Horizon administrator. I know that this service account is my first administrator because I have access to the admin console. I'm going to click on the admin console. I'm going to click on settings. I'm going to click on roles, and I'm going to click on administrators to add other Horizon administrators. We're going to add Jack Smith. I have now configured the Horizon connector to work with the Horizon service.